Let's start with news around that Congress where Mpho Phalatse is running to become DA leader. She's going up against the incumbent John Steenhuisen. Former mayor says that she believes the DA is the only party that can take South Africa forward. Phalatse says she's capable of positioning the party to do just that. She spoke to our senior reporter Siphamandla Goge a little earlier.
I'm contesting because I know the Democratic Alliance is the only party that can take South Africa forward, with the ANC promising to plummet below 40% in the upcoming national election. The Democratic Alliance needs to position itself as a credible alternative to take this country forward. I want to deal with the trust deficit that exists between the electorate and the Democratic Alliance that's denying us the mandate that we need to govern. We've never governed at a national level, in spite of the fact that we've got some of the best policies that have never been tried and tested. I want to position this party to be able to implement our policies, to showcase to all South Africans from all communities, rural and urban, that our policies are best placed to address the diverse South Africa that we live in.
You mentioned trust deficit. It was evident in 2019 when the DA was really quote-unquote punished by the voters because of internal squabbles that the party was going through. Are you hopeful that in 2024 the party will turn things around?
Under my leadership, I will ensure the party is united and the party is healthy and the party can have the influence in South Africa to show South Africans that we are the answer. I believe under my leadership we can get SA behind us.
Let's talk about policy issues. The issue of gender-based violence, the issue of femicide in South Africa. Women are not safe, they are being killed by men. And those policy issues in terms of crime and economy, energy are some of the things that will need to be seized with at this Congress.
Yes, absolutely. Fortunately, I have a lot of experience having served as an MMC for Health and Social Development. I drove those issues in the economic hub of South Africa, having served as mayor as well, ensuring there's mainstreaming across all sectors of society, a focus on women, a focus on youth, and every other vulnerable population group. I've got that experience, and I'll bring that into my leadership of the party to ensure that DA embodies that.
This Congress will have to deal and talk about the issue of coalitions. Very unstable. You were removed as the mayor through that or because of that. In terms of coalition governments at metros, what would you like to see this Congress discussing and resolving?
Well, as you know, the DA has tabled a bill, 5 points that they've proposed at national level should be adopted in South Africa to stabilize our governments. I believe in those. I'm firmly behind our national leadership on those. I have been a victim of unstable coalitions. At some point, we had 9 political parties. It's untenable. We need smaller, more manageable coalitions, and that's why I want to get the DA numbers, because with numbers, we will be able to form coalitions that are more stable and pro-service delivery.
On issues of race relations and transformation, this party has been criticized a lot, even though its current leadership will disagree with those who say it caters for a white minority. What is your view on what needs to happen to grow the DA, diversify the DA?
We know who we are, but the South Africans need to agree with us that we are who we say we are. That gap must be closed, and under my leadership, I will ensure that there's agreement between the DA and the electorate on who the DA is on race relations. We must not shy away from the topic of race. We must be able to lead discourse around race and other polarizing matters, and under my leadership, this will happen.
Your critics are not giving you any chance. They say this will be a walkover for John. What do you think?
Well, we're here. Tomorrow the delegates will tell us whether it will be a walkover. I'm confident. I've got many delegates across different provinces behind me. People are hungry for change and they see the real possibility in 2024 for the DA to govern.
But in your view, that change, what necessitated that change? What is it that when you said, listen, this is what needs to change within the DA, that change, summarize it for us, break it down for us?
Well, my value proposition is growth, and the only way for us to grow is to penetrate every constituency in South Africa, rural and urban. We must be relatable. Where there's a trust deficit, we must seek to understand what the source of that mistrust is. We must address it. We can no longer just ignore it. It's hurting us at the polls in spite of our brand of good governance. We must address it so we can get the numbers on our side.